Progressive Grand Alliance, Mr. Frank Nweke Jr., to see you day first. You want to go? Then I actually before baby does the main thing. So sir, because just kick it the matter. Has to kick it now. Come on in. You want to go? Have you not come on copy me here, sir? Because now we are going to verify.
You're going to verify. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And as we go here, here the way George and as we go, just the people who are homeboys and homegirls and and I said, well, nobody here. I found Frank Nweke Jr. I'm one of the gubernatorial candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance in Cabo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, he will come up very soon to speak to us. So the next question, before moving to the next session of the program, this one says, is there any effort to ensure that this kind of leadership retreat organized by Take Back Nigeria here is taking, sorry, I'm trying to understand your question. Okay, he said, is there any effort to ensure that this kind of leadership retreat organized by Take Back Nigeria here is taking place in other states and other parts of the country, especially the Northeast and the Northwest? National Coordinator, sir, I think you respond to that.
Okay, thank you so much. So to answer that straight away, September this month, next month, September, has actually been scheduled for our leadership summit across Nigeria. So this is happening in 37 states, 36 plus FCT. So we are kickstarting that. We had done Enugu now. We are heading to Castina on the 5th of September, and that's how we scheduled it across Nigeria. So yes, to answer the question, we have this scheduled across Nigeria, and summit like this will happen. We are going to train our leaders, we are going to speak to you, and we are going to tell you and share the ideas of the new Nigeria we're all working for. So thank you, yes. I hope that answers the question, right?
All right. So I think that's the end of the questions. To introduce the next speaker, I want to call on the co-convener of Take Back Nigeria, Mr. Jack, to do justice to that. Please a round of applause for him as he comes to introduce our next speaker.
So, it is, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, formally. My name is Okoli Blessing Chimize, and you all know me as Jack. And I am happy to be here. This is my the first time I'm coming to meet our leaders in Enugu. And I must say that I am impressed with how you all have organized yourself over time. So let me quickly just bring to the podium a man I have deep respect for, a man that changed or is changing how politics is played in Enugu State. It is my pleasure and honor, really, to introduce to you Mr. Frank Nweke Jr., who is a governorship candidate for Africa. Thank you so much, sir.
Good afternoon again. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. but I prefer to come down to speak to everybody so that we are the same level. And I actually know what are the symbolism of what I have just done. What I have just done is just to tell you that under no circumstance should anybody, by whatever name called, try or insist on elevating himself higher than Ndo Kweshiru Idinasa. The only reason why you call anybody the only reason why the president is referred to as a president, Your Excellency Mr. President, is because you, the people, have told this person, please stand in front and lead us, and we will call you Mr. President. The only reason why anybody is addressed as governor, so person, is because you, the people, everybody seated here, you pick that person from amongst you, and we'll call you Excellency Governor. It does not mean that simply because, at least it should not mean that simply because you chose somebody from amongst you, ordinary person like you and I, it does not mean that the person is higher than you. The only reason why that person is in front is because you asked that person to please be in front for us. And being in front for you is for the following purposes. Why did you ask him to do that? You asked him to do that in order to ensure that your life and your property are what? Secure. You asked that individual to be in front in order to ensure that state resources belonging to the entire state, that it is well managed and it is used for what? For serving the people. That teachers are paid, local government workers are paid the minimum wage. That the streets are cleaned, the roads are built. That is why you ask that person to be in front. That individual is not higher than you. It is out of the milk of human kindness. It is out of what your moon, please, no Igbo means that now, that power, when you say power belongs to the people, that's exactly what I'm explaining to you. It is the power you have in your hand that you take and give to one individual, please, mana jire wene ifichirai by jide wena arai uzo jide wena bambo wefu that nande police nande army can echepụta ya ọfụma jide we bambo wefu na ewe mmiri jide bambo that na ụmụaka bai na ha were ọrụ. That is why you donate that power. No, it is something called the social contract. I get you no via moto for 4 years. And because of Nya Hainazu, Niga, Abarai, Ojibo, when it make sure I need to be here. Make sure I and do Shawa Bohai. Make sure that Nandina Koihe, Haja Egu, Ije Koiha, Nandu Fulani Adahu to Fuheba. That is the essence of political power. You also want your water? I want me to use this podium. You are trying to separate me from my people. And I will not go to that podium. Yeah. If you cannot get me from where you are, leave it. Be good. I am going to be with my people. We wolf the hand of politics. We wolf the hand of government. Any government that is not able to ensure the security, the welfare, the well-being of lives of the people has no business existing. Has no business existing. So because ekene move of ekene move channel news of each. opportunity to hear can cover room with can cover room with him. You should know from a very niche media. Any government that is not interested in the welfare of the people has no reason whatsoever to exist. Because without the people, without you people, then there would have been no need for government. And so here was our leadership. This politics is so important because all this politics, all because of the politics, and all the quality of that's what will determine the quality of your school system. That is what will determine the quality of your security system. That is what will determine the quality of your hospital system. That is what will determine whether children live or die. That is what will determine whether schools are built. That is what will determine whether you make progress or you do not make progress. So, open the Margaret, no chapter, waiting not yaya, ihena, amen. When I try to do, I love the response given by Mr. Jack. Odemba, Hewe debate. Everybody, let everybody come and give account of themselves. That is the way democracy is operated. That is the essence of democracy. All about choice. Let the candidate of every political party come before the electorate at the federal level for the presidents, at the state level for the governors, at the senatorial level for the senators, and at the constituency level for the federal constituencies, and for the at the House of Assembly levels for the state constituencies. Everybody back over. So back career. Boye do back back over way. Aha wo haza in Nigeria. Mama kun man aha. And so it is important that if you are well, upon a result, if you have passed one particular road, if that road is good, you want to pass it again. If you pass a road, about you almost lost your life. I should go and take that road again. You say, nah, if I pass that road, it has not worked. So please, I beg you in the name of God, this electorate, insist that everybody, let every party, let every candidate come and explain themselves. Examine the records of everybody. Examine the records of everybody. Insist that everybody must explain themselves. How did you come about it? Don't be deceived. Do not be deceived. You cannot take something that belongs to me and claim that now you're so smart and therefore that no out of your genius, that is not correct. It is called corruption. It is called stealing. Oshi. No matter Masreno, Igbo Masreno, that is the truth of the matter. Doesn't matter. Check the records. By the time people come and take something which they stole from you and give you, ask the question. You cannot use what doesn't belong to you to do charity. Can you take something that doesn't belong to you? You should go to some other person will make charity. No. So Biko, I'm so happy about Udo interest, the new consciousness which the electorate now have all over this country in the political process. And when it is time to vote, when it is time to give support, do not forget, for instance, that Nenugu, 7 years ago, personally, meaning I went to my house 7 years ago. There was water in my house 7 years ago. Today, there's no water in my house. I buy water like 2 or 3 times a week in 1 month in my house. And now I'm going there often. Each tanker load is about 25,000 naira. Or machine. or machine because we cannot forget that now Enugu has not been as dirty as it is today. Or machine. The check here who's holding Enugu, who's holding Maryland, Ababa, Achara Layout, New Haven, Iba Valley, and so many places. And you ask yourself, is this how it was 7 years ago? So, you check here, how many times did primary school teachers, how many times have primary school teachers been on strike in the last 7 years? I'm asking you, how many times were they on strike 7 years ago? But today, they have been on multiple strikes on a daily, on a monthly basis. Primary school got the foundation. Foundation, and the foundation. And Umaka Nine have been at home for months on end because you have people who do not appreciate the value of education. They didn't the teacher that is the risk we run. Those things are on the records. You have to remember it. How about pensioners? People who gave their lives in the service of Enugu. How about Ndina retire who are looking for gratuity? No hope. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hope is on the way. Hope is on the way. Hope is on the way. And I can assure you that it's not so much as the fact that the money is not there, but the monies are being misapplied. The monies are being diverted. That is why you have the situation that we have in Enugu. Now, that by God's grace, you will have the most transparent, the most accountable government ever under our leadership by God's special grace. And that is why I ask you, shine what? Shine what? Shine what? Shine your eyes. Shine your eyes. If there are circumstances, if there are people who have asked you to trust them in the past, and you trusted them for 20-something years, you trusted them for 7 years, and they have not delivered, the natural instinct is the man that now, so because I'm making those of for each. On a personal basis, on the basis of my own record, I started my political career in the state, and check here, every position I have held, I have never been found wanting in any of those positions. So, and dog to the glory of God, I'm not in that category. I am not in that category. And so I come with a clean record of service. I come with a lot of experience. Having operated at the state level, even to the grassroots level, as state coordinator of Community County Council, having operated as chief of staff, managing the entire government house and the governor's office, having served as minister for intergovernmental affairs, serving as minister for national orientation, serving as minister for communication, serving as minister for youth development. Let us discuss. Examine it by yourselves. Take decision by yourselves. That is where I stand. If you have also headed the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, as I have, advising presidents about the state of our economy, please come out. I'm happy to discuss with you. Come out. I'm happy to debate you. Openly water economic management, come out. Let us discuss it. I'm happy to discuss. And I'm happy to bow to superior logic and superior knowledge. And I can assure you that Thank you. Thank you. You also want to recall that there is no other group of people that bad governance affects the way it affects young people. Unemployment is at 31% in this state. You have that out of every 10 people, about 3 or 4 people, then it was graduates, graduates who have left university or with their OND or their HND, who are, instead of irregular, Hanayakeke, Hanabataxi, Hanevovrunacha, and that one is at about 30% as well. You combine the underemployment and unemployment, you have that about out of Madi Liobana, Madi Shi, Ade Meha Kweshirime. And these are Umukurobia, not in their prime. Uka Kweshiri is very productive. And so they are being useless. They have become useless, not because they want to be useless. They become hopeless, not because they want to be hopeless, but because the government, which ought to take care of them, ought to provide opportunity for them, has failed to do that. And that is why in the last 7 years in Enugu, point at any new business that has come to these states. Just one investment if you are here. Check it. That is why some of us have come out. Kankowaru, the importance of these investments coming in. Just listen to me carefully, please. And I will start by what happened when Jimo Ambianso, when His Excellency Jimo was governor of old Anambra State, comprising the current Enugu, the current Enugu, and the current Anambra State. He alone was the governor. In 4 years, you had a man of great vision, a man who had respect for the electorate. You had such a man. And in those 4 years, he built Transekulu. He was the one that created Transekulu. And created, it was bush, complete bush. The bridge connected the main, the major urban area with that new area. He created it. He's the man that founded ESUT. That time it was Anambra State University of Technology, ASUTE. It was when the states were divided that Enugu's own portion now became what? Enugu State University of Technology. Ebe Nnamdi Azikiwe University today, that was the Anambra campus of ASUTE. He built it. He was the one that built Sunrise Flour Mills. Who made Sunrise Flour Mills? He built it at the time. He was the one that built Anambra vegetable oil plant in products, Nanaj. He built it. He was the one that brought Anamco, that massive partnership with the Germans. He built it there. This man did all of this. This man did all of this because he understood that he needed to create job employment opportunities for young people. Check the government. How many people that government can employ if you want to employ everyone? Not possible. But what government can do is to create opportunity, to create an environment. And what is that environment? Now security guard, now military guard, now get with trained manpower. Now get with electricity. Any other support that government or that business needs to thrive, that is the work of the government. So when you don't create that opportunity, businesses will not come. And that is why, for instance, in the last 7 years, the unemployment has been so high. The people who came after Jim in democracy, it was through them that the Nigerian breweries in Ama was built. During Jim's own time, he also built the premier breweries today in Onitsha at that time. He built it to create employment. You have to understand it, what the issues are, and therefore make the right choices. And remember the parties, the people on whose work in the affairs of our state, the affairs of our nation today. You also want to the following. We got the privilege of sitting in the federal cabinet in this country today. I had the privilege, and I sat in the federal cabinet. And one thing now, the presidency is extremely important. It is so important to have the presidency, right? This was, I think that's me right there. When I went to some of these slums where we have those young people who are really being mentored by drug addicts, by alcoholics, and so many of them. I didn't know you were showing this. But I went to those places to see. It's not so much that now they will okay, they will have that opportunity. When I you hold that now akakunaka na ekiri umanda ni ne nesi igbo na agunkuru mmiri na umaya even from beginning of the morning to the night umaka ha ekiri ha una hold that now ndha is already set. It's almost useless because you have people who are not paying attention. So because I'm like unu guri ha ni nuche when the time comes. The position that affects everybody the most, the position of government. Federal government, they will any other set of citizens anywhere. Abuja, people in Abuja, most of them have come from different parts of the country. And even in the states, the various states. It is the policies the state governors put in place that determines the quality of life. Buhari na insecurity to Enugu. It's not because of Buhari that the teachers are on strike. You need to understand that. It's not because of Buhari that the local government people are on strike. It's not because of Buhari that the roads are not built in Enugu. It's not because of Buhari that the Nweke and Nrashi. No. Nrashi has a local decision taken by the master of Nrashi as part of Nrashi. Russia and Rashi can cover the danger in it. As long as you have that in Russia, you cannot expect the hospitals to work. As long as you have that in Russia, and just a few people. Your own property. What belongs to you? The whole collective heritage. It belongs to Tunde Nugu. It belongs to all of us as citizens. Somebody now takes it illegally. And then says, while majority of the people are suffering, while the children can't go to school because you're not paying the teachers, while the local government workers are on strike because they don't have the resources to be paid, whilst we don't have water in this state, whilst insecurity is so high, whilst unemployment is high, shine your eyes. I found Frank Nweke Jr. Boki Fina Arujon second. And I'm happy to speak to you. I'm happy to hear you Kanko Wemu Kambu Noku. And because as Take Back Niger, I want you to insist that every political party, every candidate must participate in a debate where they can give account of their records, where they can give account of their candidacy, and where they can tell the people of Enugu, who are the ready? Who are the ready? Unchokwa Kanjera here, Kaboha Kabia, I'm ready. Unchokwa here tomorrow, I am ready. Unchokwa here next year, I am ready. There's no shaking. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
For that speech, ndị Enugu unu nwere mmadụ ọ bụrụ na mbụ onye Enugu okay, unu ma ihe m chọrọ ikwu ba mana unu nwere mmadụ. That's all I want to tell you. Like you see, when I look at people like Mr. Frank and I see the kind of leaders that are leading Enugu currently, I just ask myself, what exactly is wrong with us as a people? Peter Obi said, are we caused or we are the cause? It's a question that we all have to ask ourselves. How much powers we have as a people? I usually want to remind every person in this country, because some of us, we don't really know where we are as a nation. But when you understand where we are as a country, then you begin to work extra hard to make sure that we never have this kind of people we have in Nigeria ever again. At all levels. We have people that clearly understand nothing about leadership. People that don't have the interest of the common man at heart. It is about them. We have 100 million Nigerians that are living under poverty today. These are people that they are not sure where their next meal will come from. We have 18.5 million kids that are not in school. If you're not scared, I'm scared. You know why I'm scared? You are breeding the next set of hoodlums. So we can all understand where we are. Nigeria is in a mess. And if we must rescue this country, we must all get involved. So when I say get involved, I'm not saying, oh, any politician or people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking of you being part of people that will change this country, because Nigeria must change. Whether we like it or not, this country must change. Now, whether it's going to change in our own time, we are the ones that will determine if we change during our time. I used to tell people, I said, when I look at the older generation, I call them the complainers generation. A lot of them complained about so many things. Oh, Nigeria is not this, Nigeria is not that. And what did you do about it? That is the question. Most of the countries where we want to run to, they were fixed by some people. Some people had to sit down and do the work. Some people made it happen. You want to go to United States of America, you want to go to Canada. These people worked hard for what they enjoy today. So I want to, first of all, thank you all for standing up to be counted among those. Because what you're doing, I tell you, if Enugu will experience good leadership, I am not the one that will do it. It is you. So don't say, oh, this person don't have money. They will tell you, that's what they will scare you with. When this whole P2B movement started, they will tell you, oh, he had no structure. No structure, moral structure. They will tell you, this man does not have money to run for election. He's too stingy. He's this, is that. He's too soft. They will tell you all kinds of things. But what you should ask yourself, the question I usually ask them, once people say that, I say, okay, I agree with you. But who is the best candidate? That is my question. I just want you to answer the question sincerely, deep down in your heart. Who is the best? I've always challenged people everywhere I go. I say, I want you to tell me, if you're not supporting the candidates I'm supporting, I want you to prove to me that your candidate is better. Don't tell me about who can win an election. If it's about who is popular, I think the person that should be vying for the office of the president in Nigeria should be Davido. Because why are you laughing? Yeah, because he's the most popular at least to the best of my knowledge, is the most popular Nigerian as of today. On social media, he's everywhere. Right? Go to his account. He has about 20 million followers on Twitter or thereabout or somewhere, I think on Instagram. Right? Good. So he's the most popular. So let's bring him now. Let him run Nigeria. Or if you say it's about who has money, then let's go and get Aliko Dangote then. Because to the best of my knowledge, he is the richest. He's the richest Nigerian. So this is not about when you come to leadership. Some of these things are not primary. They are not the things you consider first. The things you should consider first is who has the capacity. Konyo Gaba, I happily Nuku. About that now. Ome policy no na like no na boy together say our governor. Obupi he look in someone you can hold accountable. One of the first things I told Peter, I said, Your Excellency, I will be your biggest critic when you eventually win this election. While some people think we are fanning him, no. Nobody is fanning Peter. Personally, in my opinion, I don't think we are fanning him. We only see a man that represents the new Nigeria where we want to go. So you must also look at people based on their competence. Before government, these are critical questions. It is important. And whatever happens, I want you people to make sure that whoever becomes your next governor is somebody that is powered by the people and not some few individuals. All the very important. Because all that now, if I'm running for office of a governor, for example, and then all few of my friends be here and then I'm winning the election, I'll be accountable to them, I'll be answerable to them. So if I want to make decision and they call me and say, oh, don't do this, I will listen to them because, they are the reason why I'm here. So but open and they no decide there, decide there, when they elect the next governor in your state. What will happen is that at the end of the day, and he will listen to you on the day of the election. That now any politician have the capacity to give you 200,000. Are the possible? But let's assume not the possible. Because 200,000 or you do for 1 month. No, just ask him for 1 month or you do for 1 month. Only one family in Nigeria, maybe like 4 or 5 kids. Can you survive with 200,000 in a week, in a month? You have to struggle. So these are the things I need today, and it is important that you as the leaders in your different communities, in your different wards, you are able to communicate these things to people at the grassroots. Because over time is that a lot of people don't know these things. And that is why these people keep taking the advantage of our ignorance. And they keep raping us. So once again, I want to thank you all for your time and the opportunity to speak to you. Like someone rightly asked, are we going to organize a debate? I am looking forward to it. I want us to have a situation where anybody that wants to represent you is able to speak to you. You will listen to him. You will ask him questions. Only saying that not going to create 1 million jobs in 4 years. Because it's important. That is why you notice P2B's policy document is not out there. Some people get the policy document, they will just dump it. When we go their team members, when we get themselves, only one as a president or go behind the policy document. But this is our policy document. How many of them have ever implemented that policy document? How many? All those glossy paper, policy document. If actually implement it, we will not be where we are. There might not even be need for change of government every 4 years. But unfortunately, you have people that say one thing and do another thing. So what I can assure TBN will make sure that whoever gets the support of TBN at all levels must commit to some basic things that you must do for your people. And we will be able to hold you accountable and call you out publicly anytime, any day. We no longer we want people to start seeing politics as a different thing. We want to play this politics differently. If you people are not tired, I'm tired. I'm still young. You're no longer young. At the end of the day, you add 4 years or 8 years to your year. Calculate it, go there. Somebody will waste 8 years of your life. Just look at how APC government at the center had wasted 8 years of our lives. Some of us, we know where we are in 2015, 2014. Where are you now? Can you put your hand on your chest and say, yes, I am better off? Unfortunately, most of us are not. Except the very few opportunists that probably must have stolen funds somewhere or must have gotten overbloated contracts. All right? So, I will allow you to ask Mr. Frank questions. So I want some of you to be able to ask him questions. Yes? Okay. Okay, you want to ask him? No, it's important to ask him directly. Please, where's the other mic? Okay, sir, so go ahead, please. With your question.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mr. Samuel Chukwu. The governorship aspirant, Mr. Frank Nweke Jr. I greet you, sir. Sir, my question is this. Who will see us through in Enugu State? Who exactly will see us through in Enugu State? And it goes like this. I'm coming.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, everybody, please. Sorry.
Sir, why I ask that, I just want to take us back some 18 years ago. Enugu State has remained stagnant in terms of development. The ones that pains me much is the problem of water. I cannot believe in 21st century that people are still buying water from tanker. So, wait and come, sir.
Hold on, please. Hold on, everyone.
Our youth, majority of our youth, after education, they will migrate to other states. Sir, what are your plans to help and vindicate Enugu State out of this problem? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Until we finish the questions and answer session before I leave. Now, thank you. I want to thank the gentleman who just asked that question. I didn't hear the first part of what he said. Who will do what? Who will help Enugu? I am here. That's the whole idea. What else am I doing here? I am right here. That's why I came out. I'm right here. And that's why I said to you, ladies and gentlemen, Bikon. The only question I want to, the only thing I take it that the question you asked on behalf of this audience is who will we send? And I'm saying, I am here, send me. I am here, send me. But seriously speaking, if you said that Enugu has remained stagnant, that is even a sign of progress. If you say that Enugu has remained stagnant, that is a sign of progress. What do I mean by that? 7 years ago, we had water in most parts of Enugu. True or false? 7 years ago, we had the entire, the security situation was almost perfect. True or false? 7 years ago, we had clean streets. Refuse littering the entire streets. True or false? 7 years ago, we had clean cabs and buses all over Enugu. True or false? 7 years ago, businesses were being attracted to Enugu. That's how ShopRite came. That's how Spa came. That's how so many other things came. True or? So, 7 years ago, the entire Enugu was lit up at night. You could walk on the streets without fear of molestation. True or false? So, if you say that we have remained stagnant, then that means that the streets are still lit. That means that there is water. That means that there is security. That means that the roads are built. That means, so as a matter of fact, the right thing, the right way to describe the situation here today is that we have retrogressed. Have not even been maintained. And so we have not been stagnant. We are worse off. The state has retrogressed completely and totally. And I'm under Melia. And I'm here cost there. Here cost there but what? Rashi. That is what cost it. Here cost there but that is what cost it. And I'm at the party cost there. We know the party that cost it. So, because let's just be accurate. Let's try to be factual when we are speaking. Now, you spoke about unemployment. When I was speaking, there's no way unemployment will not be high. Government cannot employ that many people because they are not being paid. On machine. If you pick, say, 500 young people and you say, I'm making you special assistant, I'm making you technical assistant, I'm making you executive assistant, and you give them 30,000, which is not even regular. It's not even regular. Or not regular, 30,000. You take your birthright. Like Esau, you take your birthright and you throw it. He was here with him. Because somebody has taken what belongs to you. Wait to pay over as what a shame. What a shame. And these people who have chosen to weaponize poverty. It might seem that nothing will happen. But these are the reasons why certain lineages become cursed. Because what belongs, a common heritage, what belongs to the people, you sit down when God has elevated you and given you opportunity to serve your people, to improve their lives, you decide to convert these things to your personal use and the personal use of your family. God will not fail to ask you. Don't worry, it will happen. Karma is real. Karma does not need permission to be karma. They will hear for they will hear Mariha. They will marry. God knows. God sees. You'll be held accountable at the right time. Let me tell you people a bit of history. When I look at Dr. Michael Obara and Makia, with their private capital, they wouldn't have had those jobs. You go to Nigerian breweries, go and see how many people are employed in Enugu. If that place was not built, those employments would not have been put there. About government or Nigerian breweries or private sector, but they found the state at the time conducive with royal. And so the key to unemployment is to attract this private capital. And more, because I was 5 years, I spent 5 years as the Director General of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group. The way anybody in this country today, now, they will come to Enugu because Frank Nweke Jr. is here. Because I'm here. And so those jobs will be created. But you need to attract them. And I can tell you about 5 potential investments that were killed by the current government simply because of that Nrashi philosophy. It's the truth. Because of this Nrashi business. Nrashi may be here. Oh, maybe here. So, Bikon, I am happy you're asking the right questions. I'm asking you're demanding answers. I'm happy that you're demanding accountability, and I ask you to keep demanding it. Keep demanding it. Keep insisting. Keep asking. But even when it's over, hold whosoever it is at the side. Hold such individuals accountable. It doesn't end at just voting. Please, whosoever it is, when it is over, the person must be held accountable. Let's have the next question, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Frank, for your eloquency and your boldness. I have two questions. One, do you have because we have known all the problems we have. We are aware that there are problems. And there are a lot of things to revitalize. Even cement industry in Enugu State. There are a lot to do. Do you have step-by-step, practical steps you will take to bring those things back to normalcy? Because seeing a problem is one thing, and being able to address the problem is the next thing. My name is Reverend Ngozi Steludechu. I saw what is happening on campus, and I decided to initiate a campaign. I call this Superlative Campaign for Excellence. If you tell a student, don't join bad gangs, don't do this, don't do that, you need to tell them step by step on how they can become useful, how they can be creative, how they can make out something from nothing, how they can change the environment. You have to reset their mind. Like you talked about those drug addicted ones. There should be a way to reorientate the mindset of our people. So do you have step by step, and then do you have plans on how to even go back to ensure that those things are done? That is my first question. The second question now is from your narrations and even what I saw here. You have not gone to Nsukka, and it's like you don't have plans to Nsukka. If you have plans for Nsukka, because Nsukka, I know the state we are in Nsukka, and it seems as though we are cut off. We are not feeling the government at all. Do you have any plan to revitalize it? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Frank.
Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Mr. Frank, sir. Just before you go, I think we should allow them to speak. Ask your question immediately so that we take them at once. Lots of time, yes. So, quickly, your question.
Good afternoon, everybody.
One house, please. One house, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, my incoming. I call you my incoming because I know by it. I call you my incoming because I know by the special grace of God, you will be at Lion Building in 2023. But sir, my question is very simple. My name is Amadi Gilbert Chinedu. I'm from Ohom. I'm a graduate of Covenant. But currently, I'm an ice cream seller, Like, as in, I don't know how it sounds, but that is just the truth. So, sir, I want to ask. Has collected from us. So sir, please, I actually need an answer because I know that we the youths are very tired of the way the said God of particular party.
Thank you.
People just go straight to the question.
Just so that I don't forget, we don't lose track, I will answer these questions, right? Okay, so this gentleman represents the typical example of this, the danger in which we find ourselves, the tragedy in which we find ourselves. He went to Covenant University. Covenant University is a private university. It's probably the most expensive university in this country today. But you can see that in spite of the investment made by his parents, that today, this gentleman, all he is now applying himself to, because of the circumstances, right? Because of misgovernance, bad governance, because of the absence of opportunities, is to sell ice cream. Now, some people will say, there's dignity in labor, which I believe is why he's doing what he's doing. But let me explain to you the danger. Jelunu, just quiet, please. Let's have some quiet. Let's have some quiet. Please, please, please. Can we have some quiet, please? Let me explain to you the danger. This man went to Covenant University. Great faculty, great opportunity, great learning. He has come. In other parts of the world, in the peak of his life, this is his most productive years. This is when he's on top of his game. Man, all he's doing is to sell ice cream. In spite of the enormous investment made on him, and in spite of his mental endowment. Now, the state is the loser. The country is the loser. And he himself will never find satisfaction. The parents will also and this thing reminds me of another friend I have. Anape Obuzuru. Obuzuru has 6 graduate children. Obuzuru is a baggage handler. Obuzuru struggled all his life to train these children through university. And in the twilight of his life, Obuzuru is now old. But none of those children has a job. So Obuzuru is still struggling, even though he's now old. He's now very old. He's still struggling. He's still hoping that some of us will be able to help. But there are so many people like him, and we can't help everybody. We can't help those children. But what he has just said speaks to what I was saying earlier. And all of these things start with leadership. Competent leadership. Visionary leadership. Leadership who are why they are leaders, or why they have been elected. Leaders who know what to do. In making reference to what had happened in the past, I'm demonstrating to you, I'm the conversant with history. I know what can be and what ought to be. And I'm saying to you, because I know, because of my own person, that if I manage to earn your trust, if you will just believe me and give me a chance, that we can replicate those things I'm telling you. That is a commitment that I make. And I believe that my life's trajectory, the work that I have done, the places I have been, my education, all of these things combine to prepare me for a time like this. There's nothing more I can do beyond presenting myself to you now. Saying to you, this is who I am. Asking you to let me borrow Igwedike. Asking you to please let me borrow the phrase. Go and verify. If there's anything I have said today that is not true and you verify it, feel free to publicize it. But in my entire career, I have shown fidelity for the public trust. I have shown fidelity to integrity. I have shown discipline for the public space, for the public finances and everything. I have shown that fidelity. Not because the opportunities are not there, but because you chose to remember your nurture. You chose to have the fear of God. You chose to say, this is who you are. And as a younger minister, my late father would still write me letters to remind me of who I am, the person he trained me to be. And I thank him. He's not here today. And in the way he has trained me is the same way I'm training my children. Asking them to remember who they are, never to forget. No matter the temptation, remember that you must respect the public trust. Remember that you must respect the investment made in you by your family. You must respect the fear of God, and you must always remember not to undermine your nurture and everything you stand for. Now, thank you. So, for me, for the lady that spoke from Suka, well, Reverend, the lady, you know, I'm just thoroughly amused because you have been the custodian of power for the last 7 years. For the last 7 years. So if you have, so when I complain here, I thought it was just the rest of us. Where's the lady? Has she gone? Okay. But it's really, I mean, it's a bit, that caught me off guard. That honestly caught me off guard. But what I can say to you is this. Nsukka, the entire Nsukka, Enugu North Central Zone holds tremendous opportunity. If you look at University of Nigeria alone, so much can be done with it. It's the one of the premier universities in our country today. Where you have almost 40,000 students or thereabouts. And about a faculty of almost 15,000 people or thereabouts. Do you know the opportunity it represents? Nsukka can be turned into a major tech hub that will be known globally. And we have the contact, we have the network to bring global corporations like Microsoft, like Facebook, like Twitter. We can bring them to that place. It is just a matter of, do you have the exposure? Do you have the vision? Do you have the contact? Can you mobilize the caliber of the team that you require to make this happen? Nsukka will be transformed into a major tech hub in this state under my governorship, my gospel. Nsukka is like a food basket for this state. It's like a food basket. Look at places like Uzowa. Obara them recognized it even how many decades ago they recognized it and began to make the investment. Not only have those investments not been upheld or maintained, they have even been destroyed. But the land is still there. Some of those facilities are still there. Nsukka, that zone will be positioned as the food hub of Enugu, right? And this thing I'm telling you is not just peculiar to that zone. If you come to Enugu East Central Zone, there's major agricultural land. You go to Enugu West, it is the same thing. And the former governor, his predecessor, had brought some Mexicans to come and start exporting pineapple and banana from here. Enugu was already exporting banana and pineapple from here. Enugu was already doing it. Everything stopped when this government came. And Onrashi came into the matter. Yes, all of these things will be revived. We're already speaking to some of these people. We're talking to them. They're telling us what they require for us to do if we want them to come back. That is the way you run a government. You reach out to people, you market your state. You prepare people in advance for them to know that a new opportunity is coming. There's hope on the way. There are certain things I'm not going to say, but even some of the investors in some of the businesses we have today hunted and attack on simply because of the attitude of this state government and this political party towards investment coming from outside. There are even some indigenes of Enugu who have been prevented expressly from actually making investments in this state. Simply because some people believe that if those people make the investment, they will become popular. Do you hear me? Unrifa Nagun, how ridiculous. But that is the state of affairs. All of these things will change. Because we are looking for, everybody needs to put, our hands need to be on deck. Everyone needs to come back home to help us build our state and the state of our dreams.
Thank you,
so
sir.
I'll take the next question.
Thank you, sir. Let's appreciate it. Please, sir, just hold on. Don't worry. In trouble, you go digging on here. When you can go and what? So please, we are also trying to be careful because campaign hasn't started. So we don't get the candidate into trouble or even the organizers of the event, all right? So please, some of the questions I might skip. Some of the questions I will ask, but just go straight to the point. So I think at this point, I'll just hold the mic for you. Ask your question if it's campaign related.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nweke. And my question is, I can say that from the past 70 years, you have been in the government. So
you are legend.
Yeah, I show me. Sorry. So, which political parties have you been to? That's just my question.
Because I went away. I get just go to Kapende.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, my name is Samuel Nweke from Ibeze South.
Biko.
My name is Samuel Nweke from Igweze South. I'm a grassrooter. I am the Take Back Nigeria coordinator in Igweze South. Sir, I've gone through, I've checked. I can't find any APGA structure around. Let me not go far. In my ward, how are you going to win election without having structures? Let me ask you. Sir, you introduce yourself as from Kano, and Kano happens to be in the zone. On the spirit of equity and fairness, I thought it should have been the turn of another this thing from the same East. Having been the fact that the Kano people has been the governor of Enugu State. How do you balance such?
All right, please. If we don't also understand the reason why we are here for a leadership retreat, all right, we are here for yes, thank you. We are here for a leadership retreat. Some of the questions we are asking, Mr. Frank, are questions that we love him, but we're also being careful so that he doesn't. If you've not studied the Electoral Act, you need to go and study it. So we're also being careful for the organization and him as a candidate in this place. Some of these questions we're asking, I believe he talked about debate, the need for a debate. When we sit for a debate, let's take this final question so that you can just answer all of them once, please.
Yes, because all right, Mr. Frank, yes. I'm privileged to meet you and want to ask this question. And to me, it's critical. I personally am interested in young people. I know in Enugu State, an average of like 5 million people in Enugu State, and around 70% between the ages of 14 to 60-something years. Now, in 2018, the unemployment rate was 18.1%. In 2020, it grew to 30%. Now, real statistics have not released the current unemployment rate, but I think it's higher. Now, my question is, and I want to hold you on this. What would you do to mitigate the unemployment rate in Enugu State, seeing that it is rising on a daily basis? In Enugu State alone, we have more than 5 universities. And these universities are bringing out graduates every single year. And these graduates are not living outside this nation. They are living in Nigeria. So I want to be specific. What would you do? At least give us one practical example to reduce the unemployment rate in Enugu State. It is like for every 10 person you see on the streets, 3 persons are unemployed.
Thank you. Thank you. It's straight to us.
Thank you. I already answered that question. But I do, the current unemployment figure is about 31.87%, according to data from SBM Intelligence. So you're very correct. And I've laid out previously that it is the role of government to create an environment conducive for private sector investment to come. Because government does not have an inelastic capacity to provide employment for the teeming population of young people. And I did say as well that if you look at underemployment, and we have a practical example here, and unemployment combined, it is about 62% actually, based on available data. And this is not acceptable, right? And so, I mean, you can talk about, there are already young people who are interested in entrepreneurship, and then even creating an entrepreneurship development fund that can help some of these people who are interested is also a great opportunity already, right? Even creating opportunity for young people in Enugu to access a lot of initiatives, even at the federal level, meant to mitigate the impact of this unemployment. Whether it is at the CBN for NISA, whether it is at the SMED, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency, where you have all sorts of MSME funds. All of these are, there's going to be a combination of efforts to really mitigate this unemployment situation in our country. I mean, in our state. And I'm happy to engage further with you on this. And I'm really happy that people like you are there. You know the issues. You're looking at the data. That's just fantastic. All right. So, what was the other question that somebody asked?
day of my question is based on primary school teachers. I want to ask, what do you have about the current salary scale of primary school teachers? Like what they are being paid when they pay better of this service of 700, and the same thing they are being paid now that bit of this 500. What are you doing about salary scale of workers?
Okay, so for me, that's an extremely important question, right? Let me just speak to that very quickly. It's so important because, you see, primary school teachers are the ones who lay the foundation for the molding of the character of children. And so what I want to assure the young lady is that everything will be done to ensure that they are properly taken care of. This, even the